about to watch this video. Let me show y'all real quick. This video, why the police can't stop swimmers. And if y'all didn't know, swimmers, not these type of swimmers, these type of swimmers. No cap. Let's get straight into the video. Let's see what's going on. You guys enjoy this?
Insane videos. Cars weaving through traffic like they're playing a real-life video game. Those insane videos. Cars weaving through traffic like they're playing a real-life video game. We're talking about the cutting up in traffic trend that's absolutely blowing up recently, with names like Squeeze Benz and License becoming almost legendary. These guys have some serious driving skills, no doubt.
Yo, this is like, I wanna know
These
like
guys
for real,
have
like
some serious.
Like, is there like you don't have like what is going on right here, my guy? It's a 2-lane, brother, and you just in the middle, bro. How good can your measurements be? Like what, bro? Look at this. Look how tight this just looks, bro. And they don't even close their side mirrors, bro. And then look.
Yes, driving skills, no doubt.
Like, and then if you realize, like, look at this. Like, look at his steering wheel. Like, you constantly gotta keep
driving skills, no doubt.
Feel me?
But
like,
let's be real.
Crazy,
they're also dicing with danger, risking not just their own lives, but everyone else's on the road for those insane clips.
Oh my gosh.
So the big question everyone's asking is, why aren't these guys
by the way,
behind?
I hear some music and shit. My mom is in the kitchen chefing it up, so she have her music on her phone. So my bad. That ain't gonna stop the grind, though.
And how on earth do they always get to drive these expensive cars? I mean, this is the USA, right? Land of traffic cameras on every corner and cops seemingly everywhere. How do these swimmers, as they call themselves, manage to pull off these runs day after day without getting caught? Let's break it down together in today's video. But first, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the break it down together in today's
Look at
video.
this guy's face.
But first, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to this channel for more videos covering the most famous swimmers. But before we dive into this channel for more videos covering the most famous swimmers. But before we dive into the tricks these swimmers use to evade getting caught, let's take a look at what law enforcement can do to track these guys down, and why it's not as easy as it may seem. First, let's talk about the perception of surveillance. Yeah, the US has a lot of cameras, but are they really the all-seeing eye that can track a specific car doing 100, weaving through 5 lanes of rush hour traffic and follow it all the way home? The reality is a bit more complex. Think about it. Traffic cameras are often focused on intersections for red light violations or monitoring general traffic flow. The resolution might not always be high enough to clearly identify a license plate, especially at high speeds or in bad weather. Plus, the sheer volume of traffic in major metropolitan areas makes it like finding a needle in a haystack for law enforcement to manually track a single vehicle in real time through this network. But what about general police presence, you might ask? While you might see patrol cars, the resources needed to dedicate officers to specifically monitor for and pursue these high-speed traffic violators across a sprawling city are immense. Police departments have to prioritize calls based on severity, and while cutting up is dangerous, it might not always be the top priority in a city dealing with more immediate threats. Furthermore, the very nature of the offense makes it difficult to address. Cutting up is often a short burst of intense activity. These drivers might engage in the dangerous behavior for a few minutes to get their footage and then quickly blend back into normal traffic or disappear altogether.
So we're good. Let's look and get off at this exit. Let's look and get off at this exit.
I mean, yeah, that's a fact. That's what they be doing. They be probably going crazy.
This
nigga just said, did we lose the cops?
So we're good. Let's look and get off at this exit. Let's look and get off at this exit. Did we lose the cops?
My nigga, what is this, GTA? How many stars do y'all have? What is going on? This guy just said, did we lose the cops? Nah, that's crazy.
This hit-and-run style makes it incredibly challenging for law enforcement to react in time to intercept them. Even if a report comes in, the individual could be miles away or have already switched vehicles by the time officers arrive in the area. So, we touched on the sheer difficulty of tracking these guys, but let's dig a little deeper into what law enforcement is actually up against when they do spot someone pulling these driving maneuvers. It's not as simple as just flipping on the lights and sirens and giving chase. There are a lot of factors that come into play, and police work in these situations is governed by strict protocols designed to protect everyone, not just the officers involved. One of the biggest hurdles are our strict departmental guidelines. Many police departments in the US have very clear rules about engaging in high-speed pursuits, especially for non-violent offenses like reckless driving. The risk of a high-speed chase causing an accident that injures or kills innocent bystanders is a major concern. Departments often prohibit risky maneuvers like intentionally bumping or ramming a suspect vehicle at high speeds unless there's an imminent threat of serious harm to others.
Oh my gosh.
This means officers can't always just force these swimmers off the road, even if they have the opportunity.
I mean, you gotta think about it. That do make sense, because if you got somebody cutting up and then you got the cop, and then if the at high speed, bro, if you the cop just like you see how they did to this guy, bro, there's nobody there, bro. So the only nigga that might get injured is the guy driving, but he obviously did something bad that they chasing him. But if these the cops do that shit in the highway shit, they can injure like a lot of people, bro. And then
and perhaps the most critical element is the constant risk assessment that officers have to perform in real time. Even if a police officer witnesses someone swimming through traffic live, they have to immediately weigh the potential outcomes of initiating a pursuit. Do they chase after the driver, potentially escalating the dangerous behavior and pushing them to drive even more recklessly in an attempt to escape? Or do they decide to hold back, allowing the suspect to get away in that moment, but potentially preventing a high-speed collision that could kill someone? It's a split-second decision with life or death stakes, and officers are trained to prioritize public safety above all else. Sometimes the safest option is to not pursue. Now, let's get back into the minds of these swimmers and look at some of the specific tactics they use to stay ahead of the game. Because it's not just about driving fast, it's about knowing the urban landscape and utilizing technology to their advantage. And most importantly, the art of vanishing. One key aspect is their route knowledge. These drivers often operate in specific areas they know intimately. They've likely scouted out shortcuts through residential access roads, pedestrian zones, which of course adds another layer of danger, or even construction sites. Which they've likely scouted out shortcuts through residential access roads, pedestrian zones, which of course adds another layer of danger, or even construction sites. This allows them to quickly disappear from main roads and potentially lose any pursuing officers who aren't familiar with the...
I'm not gonna hold you. Did I just get an ad? That's crazy. I'm not holding y'all, bro. I'm not even like listening to whatever the guy is saying, bro.
With Wix,
like I'm listening, bro, and I'm trying to listen. But it's like, yo, these clips that he got going on here is just
It's almost like they've rehearsed their escape routes, knowing exactly where to turn and where the dead ends are. Beyond just knowing the roads, they also leverage technical aids. It's highly probable that many of these drivers use radar and LiDAR detectors. These devices can warn them in advance when law enforcement is using speed measuring equipment, giving them precious seconds to potentially slow down or alter their behavior before being clocked. Or alternatively, speed off anyway.
Look at
Apps like Waze have become invaluable tools for these individuals. Waze relies on user-generated real-time traffic information, and that includes reports of police presence. This means
what's good, Milo?
swimmers
Appreciate the
can
follow,
often
my
get
brother.
live updates on the locations of marked and unmarked patrol cars in their vicinity, allowing them to adjust their routes and avoid areas with a heavy police presence. It's a constant cat-and-mouse game where technology plays a significant role on both sides. Another important part of how they operate is the prep work. They scope out the highways beforehand. You'll often have other...
Like, yo, be honest, chat. If you was a cop, like if that was you right here in this clip right here, this nigga's doing circles.
Where technology plays a significant
what you gonna do? He's pointing at you, just making fun of you. Like, what are you gonna do, bro? Like, you're just gonna let him go? You're gonna hit him?
On both sides. Another
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm taking my L, bro. I'm letting him go, bro.
Part of how they operate is the prep work. They scope out the highways before.
Appreciate the follow, Milo.
Other drivers
Thank you, bro.
involved acting like scouts. They're checking out the best spots for their swims. They look for stretches of road with seriously heavy traffic, so the video looks wild, with tons of lanes to weave through. And of course, they're also checking out where there might be fewer cops around or where it's easy to make a quick getaway. There's also other preparations, like always wearing masks, helmets, or suits to make it hard for cameras to identify them. And let's not forget the immediate aftermath, the actual vanishing act. Because once the swim session is over and the cameras have stopped recording, what happens next? It's highly probable they have pre-planned staging areas or even safe houses where they can quickly switch vehicles. Imagine pulling into a discreet garage or a less trafficked side street and hopping into a completely different car, instantly changing their profile. They might also have a change of clothes or even alter their appearance quickly to further throw off any potential witnesses or lingering law enforcement. This focus on the immediate escape and blending back into the urban fabric is crucial to their continued evasion.
Yeah, bro, I've been playing some games sometimes.
When you piece it all together, it becomes clear why catching these swimmers is such a monumental task for law enforcement.
I've been playing MOB. I got GTA RP. I've been playing a couple of games.
Combination of limited real-time surveillance capabilities, strict pursuit guidelines, the sheer volume of traffic.
I don't think today I'm gonna hop on the game though, because I think I'm only gonna do reactions.
Deliberate effort.
I could get some videos up for my YouTube channel.
Efforts of these drivers to remain anonymous.
Marvels? Nah, I heard of Marvels. I just never downloaded
creates a
it.
perfect storm.
How is that game? That game is good.
For the foreseeable future,
like,
it's likely this trend will continue, simply because the logistical hurdles for police to consistently stop it are so significant. However, it's important to remember that there's always an element of chance involved. Despite all their precautions, these individuals are still breaking the law in a very public way, and eventually someone might. There's always an element of chance involved. Despite all their precautions, these individuals are always an element of chance involved. Despite all their precautions.
If you can't make it, if you can't handle it, my guy, just don't cut it, my nigga. Like, look, bro, clearly this guy right here couldn't just handle that cut, bro. And he's in a bigger vehicle, bro. Look. Is he? I don't know. I think that's a Beamer. But look, like he probably just went to the right too much, and he tried to, like, you feel me, and then that's when you lose control.
These individuals are still breaking the law in a very public way, and eventually someone might just get unlucky. Take the case of the well-known swimmer Squeeze Benz. While he managed to evade authorities for a significant period, he was eventually apprehended. Interestingly, his arrest wasn't the result of a dramatic high-speed chase. Instead, law enforcement was able to connect him to his online identity through a combination of factors, including his distinctive online presence, and eventually a traffic stop for a less extreme violation. This allowed them to positively identify him and bring him in. It serves as a reminder that even with careful planning, the risk of getting caught is always there, whether through a stroke of bad luck or persistent investigative work. But what do you
was this nigga like in karate class back in the days when he was younger? Look at this kick.
Careful planning, the risk of getting caught is always there.
I know.
Whether through a stroke of bad luck.
Nah, that kick was crazy. I know he went to the hospital after that. I know that shit had to hurt, my guy. No cap.
Or persistent investigative work. But what do you think about all this?
Crazy,
is it just a matter of time before more of these drivers face the consequences? Or will they continue to outmaneuver the authorities? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Stay safe out there, and remember, the road is not a playground.
I'm not gonna lie, they be bugging, bro. But that's the video, man. Let's see what the comments gotta say. I'm gonna tune in more to this guy. I don't like his videos. I like this video right here. Playing Russian roulette with not only your life, but those on the innocent people just on the way home. Hard days. What? Swimmers? I thought I was actually swimmers in the water. Short answer strikes and NY bail system. That's too long. I'm not reading one of that. Is nobody going to talk about how this car is running into a bus at 111? Is that true?
But are they really the all-seeing surveillance? Yeah. The U.S. has a lot of cameras.
Oh, I never seen that in this video. Nah, that comment got it. Yo.
Guys down. And why?
Hold on.
It's not as easy as it may seem. First, let's talk about the perception of surveillance. Yeah, the U.S. has a lot of cameras.
Bro, first of all, this nigga he has a red light, bro. Oh, what happened? Nah, this is crazy, son. Like, yo, they definitely mad, bro. Look at that. Nah, that's crazy, bro. I wonder what happened, bro. I didn't even realize watching the video, but that's crazy.